today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wayne Jackson. And installing attractions all over the world, Tokyo, Disneyland, and Tokyo Disney Sea, which is incredible. Tell what Imagineers inspired you?
There was so many of them.
You better say these two.
Watching the show today, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The memories it brought back. And I worked with most of those people.
Yeah.
But Neil Gallagher was one of the people that had a great inspiration to me. And when we first started working at Maple and developing the audio animatronic figures. I'll never forget Neil and I had been, and Dave Swiniger, some of the other technicians, we'd been working on that, and we thought we had it just about perfect.
Yeah.
And I remember Roger Roby, who was vice president there at the time, walks down, he looks up at it, he says, it's going to leak. It was a hydraulic figure.
Boy.
And he just walked by, says, it's going to leak. And we said, no, it won't leak, Roger. We all went to lunch. We come back, there was hydraulic oil all over. So, it was, Bob Booth and I, we worked together for so many years. In the mechanical developing. Bob had the rights, and I was doing the animation and the plastics. And one of the people I worked a lot with in the development of the vehicles, the models, was one of the legends, Bob Gurr.
Right.
Bob would come down and we'd scoped up our technicians, they would sculpt up the model, and then Bob would come down and we'd, he'd make the changes, and it kept getting better and better always. Space Mountain vehicles, all of the different rides. On a mansion vehicle, I remember that one very closely.
Dumba.
Yeah. And another person that was kind of my mentor was Mark Davis. When we were doing one of the first projects I had was Jungle Cruise for Walt Disney World after we finished Haunted Mansion and the Pirates of the Caribbean for Disneyland. And so Mark, I was working with Mark, he'd show me the sketches, and he'd say, well, this is what we want to do. And he says, come on, let's go over to the zoo and study the animals. And he taught me the anatomy, how to read the anatomy of the various animals when we were doing the Jungle Cruise. And it was very interesting. And then as far as that, then the human anatomy, Blaine Gibson taught me very great amount about that. Worked with Blaine many, many years. And the facial movements when we were developing the figures, getting the smiles, getting the pinches, getting the eyes correct. Blaine was always very methodical about the eyes. And that was one thing that makes it the person.
Yeah. You know, with Blaine and Wayne had to carry it out, you only have a few seconds to say something about a character when you're riding past it in a ride through. And that was a really important trick Blaine did. You guys had to interpret.
Yes.
And the fact that people don't understand that they have to run all day from 8 in the morning until midnight and then turn on again in 8 hours. That blows me away.
That was one of our biggest challenges, was when we first started building the audio animatronics, pirate auctioneer was basically our first figure, was finding there was no robots at that time.
Yeah, right. So
And for the little facial movements and the figures,
yeah.
we had to develop the little small actuators and that type of thing, and all of the parts.
It's still there today, isn't it?
And they're still running today.
Incredible. Hey, we have another honor for you, and the new president of Walt Disney Imagineering is here to give it to you. Please welcome Bob Weiss to the stage.
Thank you, John, for letting me barge in for a minute.
No problem.
But, I want to add my thought to the way to think about Wayne is all these great things that you hear about our artists and our designers that we all dream up all the time. And all those things you see over and over, you wouldn't have seen them without Wayne. The other amazing thing, I think, is that you didn't have CAD, you didn't have 3D printing. Hell, you didn't even have Xerox machines. No. That's what that was about. So, myself and a number of us first met Wayne and a lot of his peers in the early 80s when we all went over to work in Tokyo together. And they were the senior guys who knew how to do all this stuff. We were kids who didn't know anything, but you mentored us, you taught us a lot, and actually Wayne got into a track, and so much of Tokyo, first gate, second gate, all through that history, is so associated with you, Wayne, and all the great things, partnership with OLC, and that has just been an amazing history for the company and for Wayne. So your colleagues, both Imagineering, to congratulate you, as well as Oriental Land Company, sent you a little something. Okay. And I wanted to deliver personally on everyone's behalf. First I'll do a flourishing. Here we go. It's of course the Tokyo Castle, and it says, Wayne-san, congratulations on becoming a Disney legend. Your Tokyo Disney Resort friends at Walt Disney Imagineering and OLC. Congratulations.